Hey everybody, it's Jim with Great Books, Big Ideas. I have teased this video before and I want to share with you some of the content from the 300th issue of Mad Magazine, which came out in January of 1991. There's our friend Alfred E. Newman, the sexiest smuck alive. And there are some great film parodies in here. There's one on Casablanca called Casabonkers. There's one on Dick Tracy called Shtick Tracy. There's one on The Wizard of Oz called The Wizard of Odds. We're going to look at this one in depth shortly. And I think there's one more in here called a Gone with the Wind spoof called Grown with the Wind. These are my favorite parts of Mad Magazine, are the spoofs of TV and film. And I want to share with some of this one because you'll find I think it'll be obvious once we get to the end. But remember, this is the early 1990s, and we are spoofing on the classic Wizard of Oz, featuring Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion and the Wizard of Oz and the witches and of course, starring Judy Garland. But let's just kind of take it in turn here, and we'll start with some song parodies. So this is sung to the tune of Over the Rainbow. Somehow into the 90s I will fly, and I won't come to Earth till 51 years go by. Somehow into the 90s I'll be hurled, and I know that I'll find a kinder and gentler world. No longer will I have to rot in Kansas, which could surely not be duller. I'll finish off this quantum leap in black and white, 'cause mad's too cheap to print in color. Somehow into the 90s I will fly. George Burns got to the 90s, why then oh why can't I? And so we are met here when Dorothy lands in the land of Oz. The beautiful, not too gifted Witch of the West is Vanna White. So Dorothy says, "Where am I?" Vanna tells her. She says, "Who are all these people wearing designer clothes and showing off their Rolexes and implants?" "They're Yupkins. They're happy because your house landed on Leona, the greedy witch of the East." "Who's the other one buried beneath that huge pile of shoes?" "That's Imelda, the greedy witch of the Far East. You knocked her off too." "Nice work, Dorothy, but you really should do something about that thrift shop dress you're wearing. You'll never make it in that barnyard hairdo. They'd never seat you at an upscale restaurant." "Gracious, you Yupkins are even more selfish and materialistic than the witches. How come you're happy I killed them?" "They were giving greed a bad name." "I thought people here would be full of love." "They are full of love, but only for themselves." "You can forget my opening song. I'm heading back to 1939. Only the Wizard of Oz can send you back. Where do I find him?" "In Ephemeral City. Just put your feet in this $180 pair of ruby red Reeboks and jog to the Palace of Glitz." "Jog to the Palace of Glitz. That's where the mighty one sits. Move your footsies, shake your tootsies, drive to the palace of glitz. No spot is snazzier, meaner, or jazzier, drive to the palace of glitz. And of course, Dorothy's off to see the wizard. She encounters the scarecrow. Let's look at this panel. Look, Toto, it's a scarecrow, just like the ones back in Kansas, except there are no crows, no crops, no farms, no nothing. How come? It's because all the farmers have been wiped out due to pesticides or acid rain, or maybe the greenhouse effect, or the breakdown of the ecosystem. Whatever it is, for me, it's the last straw. And then we have a spoof on the song If I Only Had a Brain. And then, of course, Dorothy encounters the Tin Man. And the Tin Man sitting, looks like in a garbage heap. And then we meet the lion. What kind of creature are you? I'm a lion, but don't tell anybody. What's with the silly disguise? When you're practically extinct, you'll try anything. And then ultimately, we're getting closer to the Ephemeral City, and they encounter someone else. Yuck, I've never seen a creature so hideous. Look at those eyelashes dripping with horrible black goo, and that mouth smeared with icky bright red blobs, and that face caked with layers of white paste. What kind of creature is it, Dorothy? Whatever it is, I know I'm not back in Kansas. I'm Tammy Faye, the tacky and unindicted witch of the South. I'm here to show you the path to the wizard, to salvation. Depending, of course, on the size of your donation, $10,000 plus your earthly goods will save your soul for 48 months. And if you pay promptly, I'll toss in my latest recording, Tammy Faye's Weepy Gospel Hits. Tell me, Tammy Faye, what do we get for $1,000? 10 minutes of pathetic sniveling and a copy of my new paperback, God Wears Padded Shoulders. And for $50? A quickie prayer and a free sample of my hair lacquer and texture enhancing stucco for the face and body. Come back, I'll save you and your little dog too. Now I definitely want to go back to Kansas. It could have been worse. We could have met Zsa Zsa, the over-the-hill witch of the coast. And so we come to the Ephemeral City. Oh, fabulous, wondrous, majestic wizard, can you work a miracle and transform our lives? And lo and behold, look who the Wizard of Oz is. As ruler of the land of Oz, I transform people all the time, every day. 10,000 people walk in here with cash and shavings. By the time they leave, I've transformed them into debt-ridden paupers. Sounds like you don't like people very much. Au contraire, my dear, they make my life, as you shall now discover in this following solo number. There are times I get the feeling from all my wheeling, dealing, the world is full of schmucks. But the fact is I love 'em 'cause I need so many of 'em while I'm piling up the bucks. All the papers are insisting that poverty's existing. I'm told it really sucks. If it's true, well, so be it, just so I don't have to see it while I'm piling up the bucks. Oh, great wizard, please use your powers so I can have a job again. Jobs are for losers, Scarecrow. Get into junk bonds or phony real estate schemes, or get control of a union's pension fund. Better still, become a televangelist. There's a world out there just waiting to be taken. Well, that doesn't really sound fair or ethical, but I guess you know what you're talking about. What about me, wizard? Send me back to the time when the world respected tin. Not for you, big guy. You're gonna change your body to plastic. You won't rust, and being non-biodegradable, you'll be around forever. But I've heard that's bad for the environment. Whose environment? Not mine, kiddo. Every sucker in this place carries plastic, which makes for easy credit, which makes for lots more money coming to me. Gee, that sounds awfully selfish and inconsiderate of others, but I bow to your judgment. Don't forget me, wizard. If I remain in 1990, I'll wind up extinct. Terrific. As long as you're the only lion alive, you'll be the one of a kind. An instant celebrity. You'll make a fortune on public appearances. That sounds like profiting from the misery of others, but you're the wizard, so you must be right. What about me, wizard? I thought I'd find a kinder, gentler world here, but all I see is greed and glitz and nobody caring about anything. I want to go back to Kansas in 1939, and nothing you can say will make me change my mind. How about this? Stick around and I'll put you up in a penthouse with a limo and 10 grand a week in spending money. In a couple of years after you fill out, you could be my steady bimbo. Gosh, those sound like the words of a sexist oaf who only considers women to be property and cheap playthings. But I know you don't mean it that way, so how can I say no? We're glad we found the wizard, the fabulous Wizard of Oz. His good advice is worth any price, so what if he rips off clods? He's making a fortune in revenues. He's raking it in while suckers lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and pays all his debts with IOUs. Ziggity zoggity zoom. We're glad we found the wizard, the fabulous Wizard of Oz. And then we made him president.